Alright guys, this is lesson 1 on piano blues playing. Now we're going to learn what's called the 12-bar blues, and that just means a 12-measure phrase of what you commonly hear in blues music. It's not the only thing you can do for blues playing, but this is kind of the common thing that's evolved. And the first thing we're going to learn is this left hand. Okay? Now your left hand in blues playing on the piano, your left hand has to be solid as a rock. Okay? It has to be, rhythmically, it has to be really steady and just really there. You need to be able to take away the right hand and hear that left hand just be solid as a rock. Okay, so we want to start with that left hand here. We're going to do it in the key of C. All right, we're going to do C blues, C minor blues. All right, so in this first lesson, let's do the left hand. We're going to be focusing on 3 chords because in blues, you're going to be using primarily the 1 chord, the 4 chord, and the 5 chord. Now C is 1 because we're in the key of C. F is our 4 chord because 1, 2, 3, 4. F is 4, and G would be number 5. So 1 chord, 4 chord, 5 chord. Now here's the pattern that we're going to use for these different chords. All right, C and G here, and I'm way down. Middle C's here, so I'm down here. I'm going to play a C and a G together, a 5th. And I'm going to play 2 of those, bop, 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 and then here I'm going to move up to A. And then play the A again. So that is the C chord when I do the bop, 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 and that's the rhythm. Bum, bop, bum, bum. Long, short. Okay, that's how we're going to do the C. Now I'm going to show you the 12-bar blues here in a minute, the progression, but let's learn the chords first, okay? So whenever you're doing a C chord, this is what you need to do. Now let's move on to the F chord. Same thing, we're going to move to the right. Okay, and you might think, well, could we move down here? Yes, we could, but that's going to, I don't know, that's not going to sound quite as good as moving to the right here, moving up. So we're going to have F and C together 2 times, bum, bum, and then change it to D. Okay, now the bass line, the left hand is just kind of a steady, rhythmic thing. It's not too complicated ever. So that the right hand will be free to improvise and do all sorts of cool things with the blues scale. So we're just learning this basic, laying down this bass line for you, okay? So whenever you see F, you're going to do this. Okay? Now whenever you see G, okay, and I have the chords in boxes. There's C chord, F chord. Whenever you do the G chord, we're going to have a G on the bottom and a D on top 2 times, bum, bum, and then to E. Okay, then we'll do the same rhythm. Alright, so we got it now, but whenever we do a C chord, we're going to do this. Whenever we do an F chord, we're going to do this. Whenever we do a G chord, we're going to do this. Alright, now here's the 12-bar blues formula. C2, F2, C4, F4, C4, G2, F2, C2, G2. Alright, now if you added those numbers all together, you'd get 24. I say, well, it's 12-bar. Well, each 2 equals 1 measure. So you divide 24 by 2 and you get 12-bar blues. Now that's kind of interesting because music is mostly in 4s, in 8s, and 16s, and 32s. So 12 is kind of odd, but it works. And it sounds good to our ear, I guess, because we've heard it our whole lives, this 12-bar blues progression. So now I can't stress enough how much you need to play left hand by itself. And let it be the priority for a while. And we're going to start to add right hand in there, but that left hand needs to be just the foundation, like the foundation of a house. Rhythmically, just right there, okay? People tend to focus so much on their right hand when they haven't really got that left hand really solid. So let's make sure we do that. Now, C2. Looks like C to the 2nd power, I guess, or C squared. We're going to do the C chord 2 times. So let's do that. 1, 2. Now notice when I went back into it that 2nd time, I didn't stop. I didn't go. But I went bum, 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 times, okay? And I'm playing it swing. I'm doing it with a lilt. Da, 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 da. But you don't have to. You can do it this way. Okay? But it just doesn't quite sound as bluesy that way. So I'm swinging the rhythm, as we call it. Now I'm going to go to F2. So here's F2. Here we are, 2 times. 1, 2, C4. 1, 2, 3, 4. F4. 1, 2, 3, 4. C4. 1, 2, 3, 4. G2. 1, 2, F2. 1, 2, C2. 1, 2, G2. So that's the first thing you need to do. Kind of boring, you know, kind of monotonous, but anything that's worth doing is going to be like that at times. So you need to be able to play through this 12-bar blues progression without stopping. No pauses in there. You need to be really comfortable with it. So don't go on to the next lesson until you can do that. Okay? You have to walk before you can run. Same idea here. Don't jump ahead and try other things, or this left hand will never have the chance to get steady, okay? So here's, you know, the chords, F, C, G, and here's the 12-bar blues progression. This other stuff will be covered in following lessons, but I went ahead and put it on one board for convenience. So there's lesson 1.